I've been using Hola Prime Futures for the past 30 days, and in this video I'm going to tell you my honest review. More specifically, first I'm gonna give you an overview of this prop firm. Then I'm going to show you what type of challenges they offer and what are the rules that you need to follow. After that, I'm going to log in my account to give you a tour of the backend and of their trading platform. And finally, I'm gonna tell you what in my opinion are all the pros and cons about this prop firm. If at any point during this video you also would like to try Hola Prime Futures, you can do so by clicking the first link in the video description. And once you get at the checkout page, if you use the discount code STKTRT, like you see right now on the screen, you are always going to receive a 10% discount on all your challenges, no matter the size of the purchase. So, if you're serious about trying this prop firm, I suggest you follow these steps. And now, let's start with the video. I'm currently on the home page of Hola Prime Futures, and the first thing that we can immediately see is one of the main features of this prop firm, which is the 1 hour payout guaranteed. In fact, as we can see from this page, Hola Prime guaranteed that all the payouts are going to be processed in under 60 minutes, and this is possible because Hola Prime calculates the payouts at the end of every single day. In this way, they are able to verify compliance and preparing the payout amounts in advance. This means that when traders request a withdrawals, the payout is already ready, ensuring a smooth and efficient experience. And personally, I find this a huge pro because it means that you can immediately enjoy the profits of your trading. Another feature that Hola Prime Futures offer and that I wish more prop firms implemented is the availability of one-on-one mentorship session. In fact, as you can see from this page, you have the opportunity to book a one-on-one session with a mentor that is going to help you improve various aspects of your trading, and the good news is that this type of one-on-one mentorship is completely free. And I'm gonna tell you again, this type of mentorship is completely free. And to me, this is a huge pro because if you're familiar with trading, you probably know that having access to one-on-one mentorship usually costs hundreds of dollars per hour, and in this case is completely free. Here you can see the list of all the coaches that are currently available, and if you click on this arrow, you can also have access to a description of what are their main strengths and what are the points where they can help you the most. Once you find the coach that you like and that you would like to work with, let's say for example that I want to work with Tony, I just need to click here where it says book now. A Calendly page is going to open showing me all the available slots, and then I just need to book my one-on-one session and I'm gonna be able to talk with this trading coach. Lastly, before showing you what type of challenges Hola Prime Futures offer, I would like to spend a bit of time talking about their Discord server. So, I'm currently inside the Hola Prime Discord server. As you can see, currently the server has a bit more than 8,500 members, but even if there are a lot of people inside the server, I didn't find it overwhelming, and in fact you're still able to have conversation with other traders without too many problems. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, the main focus of this Discord server is Forex trading, but that being said, there are still a few channels that I think you're gonna find useful. Like for example, of course, you can get access to the giveaway and the various competition, which of course sometimes can also apply to futures trading, but most importantly I really like the trader story channel because here you can get access to video where there are basically the stories of successful traders, and even if it doesn't specifically apply to futures trading, I think that this type of stories can help you as a motivation to keep pushing in case you are still not getting the results that you want. Not only that, there is another channel called Funded Flex where basically people flex their certificates once they get to the funded stage, and again this can be used as a motivation to keep pushing. Same things for the payout channel. In fact, here people post their payout certificate whenever they receive money from the prop firm, and as you can see, almost every day there is somebody that is receiving money from this prop firm, and this of course not only is a motivation but is also proof that Hola Prime is a trustworthy and reliable prop firm, and if you follow all the rules you're gonna be able to receive your payout. Lastly, I would like to highlight the chart talk and the lounge channels. Here you can basically interact with all the other traders and also ask questions to the support. As I was telling you before, from what has been my experience, these two channels are mainly focused on Forex, but even if you trade futures, you're still gonna be able to find other traders that you can talk with. Also, an honorable mention is the Hola Prime TV. In fact, almost every day Hola Prime has a live show where the various mentors you can work with have a live broadcast where they basically analyze the market. And in this case, as you can see here, there are broadcasts that are specifically for futures. So if you tend to trade this type of instruments, I know that you're gonna find this type of broadcast incredibly useful. So, now that I give you an overview of Hola Prime Futures, let's talk about the type of challenges that they offer and the rules that you need to follow. When it comes to challenges, currently you can either pick a one-step Prime challenge or a direct account challenge. So, when it comes to the one-step, as you can see, you don't have any daily loss limit, news trading is allowed, weekend holding is not allowed, and more specifically, not only weekend holding is not allowed, but also overnight holding is not allowed. This is really common when it comes to futures, simply because the margin required to day trade is lower compared to the margins required to hold trades overnight. Now, when it comes to the rules, as you can see, the profit target for phase 1 is 6%, and once you reach this profit target, you're gonna lock your Hola Prime account. The maximum trading days are unlimited, both for phase 1 and also for the Hola Prime account. When it comes to the maximum loss, it is trailing and it is set at 3% of your initial balance, both for phase 1 and also for your Hola Prime account. This maximum drawdown is gonna follow you or is gonna trail you until you reach 3% profit. At that point, it's gonna lock at your initial balance and is not gonna follow you anymore. When it comes to the minimum trading days, is set at 2 for phase 1, and then of course once you receive your Hola Prime account, these rules doesn't apply anymore. Now, when it comes to the direct account, this is a type of account that skip the evaluation and immediately give you access to your Hola Prime account. For direct accounts, news trading is not allowed, weekend holding is not allowed, and the same rule also apply to overnight holding, and with this type of account you can start earning immediately. The profit target is not available since you skip the challenge phase. You have an unlimited amount of days to trade with this specific account. Also in this case, the maximum drawdown is trailing and is set at 3% of your initial balance, and it follows the same exact rules of the one-step Prime challenge. The daily loss limit in this case is set at 2%, and also in this case there is no minimum trading days. When it comes to one-step Prime challenges, the size goes from $25,000 till $250,000, and based on the size of the challenge, also the maximum amount of contracts that you can trade at the same times is gonna vary. And as you can see, the first number refer to mini contracts, while the second numbers refer to micro contracts. Also, based on the challenge that you pick, you're gonna be able to trade either using Rhythmic or Project X. And when it comes to payout request, currently they can be requested weekly and the profit split is set at 90%. Now, when it comes to direct accounts, as you can see, the size goes from $25,000 till $150,000, and also in this case, based on the size of your challenge, also the amount of contracts that you can trade at the same times is gonna vary. The challenge is available both on Rhythmic and on Project X, and also in this case the payout request is gonna be weekly and the payout split is set at 90%. So, now that I give you an overview of the challenges that Hola Prime Futures offer, let me show you a few rules that you need to be aware of. First of all, you're not allowed to switch your trading platform. So, when you pick the challenge and select the trading platform, think carefully about it because later on you won't be able to change it. Next, when it comes to market data, level 1 market data is automatically included in every Hola Prime account and you won't need to pay extra for it. While when it comes to level 2 market data, that's optional, and in case you want to have it, it's gonna cost you $39 a month, and to access it you're gonna need to send an email at this email address. when it comes to copy trading, it is only allowed between Hola Prime's future account owned by the same trader. In fact, you're not allowed to copy trade from other accounts that are hosted on other prop firms, and you're also not allowed to copy trade from other Hola Prime Futures accounts that are owned by other traders. Regarding news trading, as I told you before, if you select a one-step prime challenge, you don't have any limitation. In fact, as you can see, traders are free to trade during high, medium or low news releases, but of course you need to be aware that during this period of high volatility you might encounter price gaps or be subject to high slippage. Instead, when it comes to direct account, you cannot trade the news, but you can trade through the news. This means that 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after are high impact news, you cannot open, close or manage any trade. But if you open a trade, for example, 10 minutes before an high impact news event, and during the news event your take profit or stop loss don't get triggers, and then you decide to close the trade, for example, 10 minutes the news event has ended, in that specific case, that trade is gonna be considered valid. Because, as I said, you traded through the news, but you didn't trade the news. Next, let's talk about consistency rules. So, when it comes to one-step prime challenge, the consistency rule is set at 40% if you are trading using Project X, while is set at 30% if you're trading with Rhythmic or Quant-Hour. Instead, when it comes to direct challenges, in that case, the consistency rule is set at 20%. In case you don't know, the consistency rule simply says that your biggest winning day cannot exceed that specific percentage of your overall profits. So let me give you an example. Let's say that your profit target is $1,000 and you are trading with a one-step challenge using Hola Prime. This means that your biggest trading day cannot exceed $400, which is the 40% of $1,000. In case this happens, you won't have failed the challenge, but you simply need to keep trading until your biggest winning day doesn't exceed 40% of your overall profits. Next, let's talk about some prohibited trading practices that apply both to the one-step prime challenge and also to the direct account. Personally, going through this extensive list, I haven't found nothing new or groundbreaking. In fact, the same exact rules that you will find here are the same that most other prop firms apply. Like for example, hyperactivity or excessive trading are not allowed, account or device sharing, gambling or speculative trading, arbitrage trading using expert advisor or algorithm, copy trading when it's done between accounts that you don't personally own, hedging or executing reverse trade, tick scalping or high frequency trading. So as you can see, these rules are nothing new. In fact, most other prop firms have the same exact guidelines that you need to respect. But the good news is that if you follow all these rules and you can prove to Hola Prime Future that you can be profitable long term, you're gonna get access to the Hola Prime live program. In fact, with this specific program, you're gonna start trading on the live markets using real capital. And as you can see, to qualify, you need to demonstrate discipline, strong risk management, and consistent profitability, including taking a minimum of 10 payouts and at least $50,000 rewards in your Hola Prime account. And once you unlock the Hola Prime live account, a few of the benefits that you're going to receive are no daily and maximum loss limits, live market trading exposure, daily rewards, no restriction, and increase flexibility. So again, if you can prove to be a consistent trader, you're gonna be rewarded with this type of account, and not only you're gonna have the opportunity to trade on the live market, but since you have less restriction, also the amount of profits that you're gonna be able to generate is going to increase. Now that I show you all the rules that you need to follow, let me log in my account to give you a tour of the backend and of the Hola Prime Future trading platform. I'm inside my Hola Prime account, and as soon as you log in, you're gonna have an overview of all the challenges that you currently have. The first one, this one that is marked as ongoing, is the latest future challenge that I purchased, and the size is $25,000. Now here on the right, as you can see, I can click this button to get redirected to Project X, which is the trading platform that I decided to use. If I click on this key, I'm gonna get access to all the credentials that I need to access my trading account. Then if I click here on dashboard, I'm also gonna have a overview of all the most important information and stats about my account. So as I told you before, since this is the latest account that I purchased, I still haven't placed any single trade, and so all the numbers are still at zero. But of course, as I start trading more and more, all of these stats are going to update. In fact, if I click here where it says stats and history, as you can see here, I can also have more detailed overview of all the most important stats related to this account. Not only that, if I click here on the left where it says analysis, and then as you can see I select my future challenge, here I can also have access to a few more useful information that can help me analyze my account and maybe spot some patterns that I can use to my advantage. And I can also have access to the calendar view, so every single day I can see what was my P&L, how many trades I took, if I was profitable or not. Below this analysis section, I have access to my agreements. Specifically, once you get to the funded stage, you're gonna need to sign an agreement, and that specific contract is going to appear here. Then I can get access to my order history, where I can see the list of all the challenges that I purchased in the past. I can get access to my payouts, and not only I can see all the payouts that I've got, but I can also request a payout. I can have access to my certificates that then, if I want, I can go on the Discord server and post them. Then there is a section related to the leaderboards. Here you can basically see all the most profitable traders inside Hola Prime, and in this case, if I click here, as you can see, I can also look at the last 30 days. One thing that I will personally change inside the leaderboard is the fact that currently traders that trade forex and traders that trade futures are all put in the same leaderboard, and so this is, in my opinion, a bit of a mess, because if I'm, for example, a future trader and I only want to see traders that trade the specific instruments, it's gonna be a bit harder to do. So personally, if I can give a suggestion to Hola Prime, I would say that they should create two different leaderboards, one for forex traders and one for future traders. Below the leaderboard section, I can get access to all the competition. So currently there are no competition that are open, but of course, as soon as they are created, they're going to appear here, and clicking here where it says view, you're also gonna get access to more information related to the specific competition, and you're also gonna have the opportunity to join it. Below the competition section, I have the Hola Prime Academy. If I click on it, as you can see, I get access to multiple video tutorial. Personally, these video tutorials are really targeted towards beginner, because they basically explain you how to use the various trading platform that Hola Prime use. So if you are an intermediate or expert trader, I don't think you will find this tutorial particularly useful. Below it, you have a section related to trading platform. Here basically you can download and get the links to the various trading platform that Hola Prime supports. So as I was telling you before, I trade on Project X when it comes to future, and currently Project X is available on iOS, Android, and also on the Web Trader, which is the one that I personally use. As you can see, you also have the links to MetaTrader 4, Match Trader, and also DX Trade. Lastly, here where it says Traders Zone, you can get access to the economic calendar. This is nothing groundbreaking or nothing new. In fact, most prop firms also give you access to this same exact information, and you can also find this exact economic calendar online on other websites, but I always like when you can access it directly inside your dashboard, because in this way everything is in the same place. More specifically, if you click here where there are the various flags, you can open the filters, where basically you can select which country you want to look at the news, and also next to it, as you can see here, you can select if you want to see high impact news, low impact news, or all the news. So now that I give you a tour of the backend of Hola Prime, let me log in inside my Project X account that I have with Hola Prime Futures. So this is the main dashboard of Project X. Don't worry if it looks a bit overwhelming because it's actually really easy to understand, and right now I'm gonna show you exactly how everything works. So here on the top left corner, as you can see, we have my one step prime challenge, which is a balance of $20,000 because I still haven't opened any single trade. Here we have access to the charts of the instrument that you are looking at, and what I like is that these charts are taken from TradingView, so this means that they are really user friendly, they are smooth to use, and most importantly they are easy to understand even if you are a complete beginner. In fact, here on the left you have access to all the various drawing tools that you might need, like for example if you want to draw a trend line, or maybe you want to do a projection of your trade. So as you can see, this is the projection for a long trade, but if I go here I can have the projection for a short trade. Here at the top I can, for example, select my time frame. So in this case I'm looking at the 5 minutes chart, but if I click on 30 minutes, right now I'm looking at the 30 minutes chart, so this means that every single candle that I see right now represent 30 minutes. If I click on this symbol, I can get access to all the various indicators that are available on TradingView. I can also change how the chart looks. So in this case I have the bars, but if I click here I can see the candles, or if I click on this arrow I can get access to all the other ways that I can visualize the price on the charts. And then if I click here I can select the symbol that I want to look at. In this case we are looking at micro Nasdaq, but let's say for example that I want to look at micro S&P. I just need to click on it, and now as you can see I'm looking at the charts for micro S&P. Next to the charts I have the section related to the orders. I can use this specific section to basically place my trades. So in this case I'm looking at the contracts. I can decide what type of order I want to do. So in this case I can do a market order, limit order, stop market, or trailing stop. If I, for example, I select limit, I also gonna have the opportunity to select the price where I want the order to be triggered. Let's go back to market. I can select how many contracts I want to trade. Remember that based on the size of your challenge, the maximum amount of contract that you're gonna be able to trade is gonna vary, and then I can decide if I want to enter the position. Below it I also have access to time and sales. This basically give me the opportunity to see all the latest trades that was placed on these specific instruments, and this is really useful, and most importantly is only available on futures, simply because the future market is more centralized contrary to the forex market, and so all the buy and sell order are easily available to everybody. Next to it I have the DOM, depth of market. So in this specific account I only have level 1 market data, so this means that I cannot see the entirety of the depth of market, and for most traders this is gonna be enough. But if you are somebody that trade using the depth of market, of course is recommended that you purchase level 2 market data, and if you purchase it here, of course the DOM is gonna be filled with a lot more information, and here at the bottom as you can see you are able to open a position directly from the DOM. Lastly, here at the bottom I also have an overview of, for example, of my active position. I can see my order, I can see my trades, the quotes, the accounts. So basically I have an overview of the current situation of my account. One thing that I really like about Project X is the fact that this is the default way that the dashboard look, but each one of these square or rectangles can be moved around, allowing me to fully personalize how my trading environments work. Now if I move here on the left side, I can get access to the Traders Hub that basically give me access to the latest market news and also the economics events. Below it I have the performance stats. So as I told you before, since this is a brand new account and I still haven't placed any trades, all the numbers that you see here are 0, but of course as I start trading more and more, all the information here are going to change and are going to populate according on how I am trading. And of course it's always useful to have this type of overview of your account, because it can help you not only to understand how you are trading, but most importantly make sure that you won't break the rules of your challenge. Next, below it, we have the setting. Here I can basically modify a few settings related to project X specifically, like for example, I can create hotkeys, I can see my risk settings, like for example, if I want, I can click this button and I can lock the risk settings for the day. I can also select my copy trading in case I have multiple accounts with Hola Prime Futures and I want to copy trade between them. I can also have access to the API. Basically, every single settings related to Project X is gonna be available inside this dashboard. So, now that I give you a complete overview of Hola Prime Futures, let me tell you what in my opinion are all the pros and cons of these prop firms. So, the first pro is the fact that news trading is allowed. In fact, if you select a one-step prime challenge, you don't have any limitation when it comes to news trading. In fact, you can take full advantage of the volatility created during the specific events. While when it comes to direct account, you are not allowed to trade the news. In fact, you cannot open a position 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after a news event, but you are allowed to trade through the news. And to me, this is a huge pro because it means that no matter what type of challenges you pick, you have a lot of freedom related to news trading. The second pro when it comes to this prop firm is the 1 hour payouts. In fact, as we have seen, Hola Prime has created an entire system that guarantees that every single payout is gonna be processed in under 60 minutes. And of course, this is a huge pro because it means that all the profits that you generated trading are gonna be available as soon as possible. The third pro of Hola Prime Futures is the 90% profit split. In fact, what I really like about this specific profit split is that it is available to everyone without the need to purchase any add-on. In fact, what happened in a lot of other prop firms, they give you access to this type of profit split, but it's only available if you purchase an add-on, so if you spend more money. Well, with Hola Prime Futures, this profit split is available to everyone without extra cost. The fourth and last pro of this prop firm is the one-on-one coaching. In fact, once you start trading with Hola Prime Futures, you're gonna get access to one-on-one coaching with expert mentors completely for free. And if you are somebody that is familiar with trading mentorship, you know that this type of session usually costs you hundreds of dollars per hour. And having access to this type of education completely for free is a huge deal and something that you definitely need to take advantage of. Now let's talk about the cons of Hola Prime Futures. Personally, the only cons that I found while using this prop firm is the fact that scalping is not allowed. In fact, the recommendation is that you hold every single trade for at least 5 minutes. Because if your average holding time is below this threshold, you might be marked as a high frequency trader and you risk having your challenge breach or worse, request a payout and having it denied. So, there you have it. This was my review of Hola Prime Futures. As I told at the beginning, if you also would like to try this prop firm, you can do so by clicking the first link in the video description. And once you get at the checkout page, if you use the discount code STKTRD, like you see right now on the screen, you are always going to receive a 10% discount on every challenge, no matter the size of your purchase. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, and until next time, happy trades!